Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's sweltering rendition of the WREPCast. I'm your puddle of a host, Lucian Barrows, and the who's and what's it to my right is suffering from heat stroke probably by now.
Oh, absolutely. What is it, like 90 out?
93 last I looked.
And that's not even including humidity.
Right.
So,
okay, it is going on 6 o'clock in central Illinois. And it is 93, 94, 100 and something. I don't even know, man. That's too hot to even care. It's really hot out there.
Yes.
Like really, like ungodly hot. Like
yeah.
I'm pretty sure God would break a sweat.
I'm sure he would. And the funny thing is, the joke is, I'm drinking coffee.
Indeed. Well, the joke is easy, but But I digress. Anyway, we're back again. Sorry.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna be honest. First of all, I ain't got much for this week's podcast, but I'm sure we'll come up with something.
Oh, we always do.
Second of all,
they don't. Oh wait, you're over there.
Yeah,
Hi,
second of
over
all,
there.
you all may have noticed something that's a little different, and that being that we kind of have somewhat of a set.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's
a makeshift.
Yeah,
it's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. We had the idea for it last week, and we just kind of, after having a business meeting today, we just kind of put it together the best we could, and I think we did pretty good.
Yeah.
It looks kind of nice.
Yeah,
so,
it does.
And you can see we've got our. We're back. You may not be able to see it because the camera's at a bit of a distance. Because cameras are weird, but
I think
says
that's because the screen's like that big on camera, though.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes. So anyway, but we're here. We're Rogue Entertainment Podcast, otherwise known as the WREPCast.
Yep.
And hi.
Hi.
Right, I already said that.
Well, yeah, but
I like being generous and greeting people multiple times.
Same here.
Also, now that you can see more of us, you may have noticed I'm fat.
And I'm not.
Right. I mean.
So,
I'm just getting that out of the way now.
And yeah, I know you were expecting probably roles reversed or whatever.
Because I've got this sexy thin face.
And me, I just got this big bludgeoning face that just goes blah.
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
can't do a damn thing with it. I'm sorry.
I know people get the wrong impressions at head parties, and let me explain. A head party is where you go and you just people can only walk around and see your head.
Oh, it's not where you go and get head?
Well, there are those, but they're called something else.
Oh,
that's called a mixer. Yeah. Okay, so head parties don't actually exist, but could you imagine?
Yeah, that would. Maybe we should throw one. That'd be.
It could be interesting.
Yeah, I think we could pull it off.
I mean, you'd have to put some cardboard over your shoulders and stuff like that you can tell how big a person actually is.
Right.
Below the neck, and which could lead to a lot of awkward sex in the bathroom or something. But
it could, especially if skinny or fat chick, skinny guy, and then
or vice versa.
Yeah,
it could be
death by
awkward.
snoo.
Or be like, wow, you get a really girly looking guy and you find out, oh, he's gay and I'm not, and I just put it in his butt in the bathroom. And it's like, well, now I guess I have to. I'm already here and did not pay attention. Found a hole, stuck it in. Turns out this person had a penis.
It was not the hole I wanted.
It turns out this person has a penis, and I am doing them in the butt, and they're enjoying it, and I don't even know how we've gone there. It's just a scenario, worst case scenario.
And very worst.
Or best, somebody finds out that, hey, I'm actually gay, I enjoy this. Maybe not so much myself, but
yeah, I was gonna,
generalization, I'm
very general.
Totally not into getting it in the ass. Although, there was a point in time in the whole gay community where people like me were actually popular. They call them
really?
They call them bears, just bigger guys and all that, and they were into that. I don't know if they're still into that, but I would have been popular in the gay community for a period of time, about a year, I think, really.
Wow.
So, that's nice. At least the gay community can appreciate us fat guys a little bit. Now, if only the hot chicks could.
Yeah, really.
Right, fellas?
What?
I mean, I know there's some of you out there watching right now that are with me on this one. So, bad alliance.
It's kind of like...
Not to be confused with the stupid people that believe that, fat people are a race and deserve their own special rights.
Oh my god.
I know that's old news, but that was just...
It's still funny.
Number 4 actually was the first to tell me about that. He straight up asked me before he even told me that there was an organization like that. He starts asking me, do you believe, as a heavy-set person, or a fat ass, as he probably said in reality, that you deserve rights for this, this, and this? No, not really. Not because I'm fat. No, I'm fat because I'm fat, and I don't deserve special rights for it. There's some people that treat fat people like they're inhuman monsters. I'd appreciate it if they'd stop doing that, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, that's one thing, though.
Yeah.
But
it's I'm one of those people that I got fat because I got fat. I didn't do things I needed to do to keep it down, so I got fat. And I've gotten a little too fat, and I need to stand outside for another 10 minutes, and I'll be down to a good weight or something.
Yeah, really. Shit, dude. It's like a sauna.
Who needs to pay for sauna when you can
go out into that?
Yeah. Like walking in a desert.
Like me, I lost weight immediately because I had surgery.
Right.
You know.
I mean, that's cheating because you had a hernia. And how big was he?
Huh?
How big was baby Charles?
I don't know. It was a pretty big boy though.
And also, in all fairness, I've always been big. I was born 10 pounds, 2 ounces. I was a fat little fucker. Half of that weight was hair. Alright? I was born with a full head of hair.
Really?
It was already starting to get long.
I did not know that.
No, it was thick and already starting to grow long by the time I popped out. I am a hairy son of a bitch.
Maybe you were cooking too long.
That's possible. Although apparently I found out that if a kid is going to come out with a full head of hair, they tend to cause a decent amount of indigestion for the pregnant mother. I found that out because our friend in Springfield, her daughter that she had not that long ago, came out with a full head of hair too.
She did?
Yeah, and
did not know that.
My mom found out about that, and her first question to my friend was, "Did you have indigestion?" Actually, yes. That's why. Who knew? A different way of coughing up a hairball can cause indigestion. So, ladies, if you want indigestion because you had sex with me, just say the word, I'll do it. I got no problem with it. I have no problem spreading my seed throughout the world a little bit
more.
And just as long as they don't ask me to actually, pay for it afterwards.
Well, that's called
married.
Prostitution, bro.
No, I meant take care of the kid. I don't mind the prostitution part.
Yeah.
I just don't have money, so I can't.
What? So it'd be kind of like charity almost.
Yeah, they'd be, giving me charity.
Right.
It's beyond a pity fuck. It's just charity fuck. It's just so bad. You need to get laid. If only.
Right.
Ooh,
well,
we should start a charity for that.
Yeah, we should. Cool.
Which brings us to another point. Might as well talk about it now
since
we're on the topic.
Yeah,
very
you brought
loosely
it up.
On charity.
Yeah.
We might as well get into it. We are working out an idea. It's not perfect yet. There's still some stuff to take care of with it, but right now we're working out an idea for how we can give to charity and the community at the same time, kind of thing. Because we're alright people. We like to help out with things and all that.
We do help things.
And I like the idea of charity funds and all that shit. So, as I say very non-casually. But yeah, so we started we're working on an idea today during our business meeting we had before the podcast here. We want to start doing something called Challenges for Charity. This is an idea I came up with when I was talking to my brother the other day, and we were talking about the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. And it's one of the fastest spreading challenges I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
because it's for raising awareness. And I don't know if that was originally what it was for. I heard that originally the ice bucket thing wasn't even a challenge. It was just trying to show, like, and give people a general idea what it's like to have ALS. So.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard. I can't guarantee it's the truth or whatever, and then it just spread to a challenge or whatnot. But that's what it is now, and it's spread. Oddly enough, you know, dumping a bucket of ice water on you spread like wildfire.
Well.
Irony.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but who really, besides me, I don't know if you've heard of it before then, ALS?
Not until I heard about the challenge, honestly.
Really?
I might have heard of it, but it might have been one of those things like, that's just another disease with letters that I don't know.
See,
so.
I guess it's because, you know, I've grown up with having a disability and things like that,
right.
You know, that I've always took a, not really an interest per se, but I've always kind of noted the different diseases and
right.
disabilities, you know, whatever. And so, you know, I've known what ALS was for years. In fact, is it Stephen Hawking who has ALS?
Oh, is it ALS that he has?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay,
it's but it's another disease that is quite similar.
Right.
For the life of me, I can't remember. I'll probably look it up in a little bit.
Right.
But no, I heard about this and I was like, really? Because I didn't know what it was even for. I just kept seeing all this stuff on Facebook, you know, about, you know, an ice bucket challenge. I'm like, what is the, you know, and
right.
then finally, you know, I looked it up and I had people at work telling me, hey, this is what it's about. Really? That's awesome. You know, I've even challenged a few people at work to do it, you know, and yeah, if somebody challenged me to do it, I'd do it.
Right, totally. I think if somebody challenged
somebody,
anybody,
somebody,
if somebody actually officially challenges the WREPCast or We Croak or whatever, we'll do it. There's only 3 of us that belong to the company right now, but we'll do it. We'll force number 4 to show up and do it too.
Yep.
And you know, it's one of those things. Like, kudos to the companies that are actually being a part of it. I know Rooster Teeth. They did a nice video about it and all that. I guess I did. It's one of those things, you know, you don't know. You can't know someone you know through the internet's personal life completely.
Right.
But one of the heads of the company, Matt Hullum, who does the voice for Sarge.
Oh, okay.
Apparently his father has ALS.
Oh.
So doing the challenge probably actually meant quite a bit to him.
Oh, absolutely.
So it was him spearheading it, and they had a bunch of the, like, not all, but a bunch of the members of the Rooster Teeth office there to do the challenge. And then on top of that, 3 of the younger guys from Achievement Hunter went ahead and did their own, which I told you about earlier.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool, actually. Instead of just the ice bucket, it's like at least one of them had already been involved in the original ice bucket challenge that Rooster Teeth did. So instead, these 3 guys decided to do like the ice garbage can challenge. So they take big Rubbermaid garbage cans and all that, and they fill it up with ice water and all that fun stuff, and then they get in it. Michael Jones, also known as Rage Quit, he had a couple people dunk him in head first, and then they let go, and that looked like it was almost going to go bad.
I bet.
I'm pretty sure his head hit the bottom.
Oh, jeez.
So,
ouch.
But yeah, one just kind of got in as quick as he could, and then it just fell. And the other one just kind of slowly sank in. So they said he was going in Terminator style. So, alright.
I like that Terminator style.
Yeah, but yeah, it was cool. And but yeah, I go through that because it's a good explanation of, like, after watching that and after, you know, talking about what I knew with my brother the other day, just because it was this conversation piece that came about, I started thinking about it, and it's like, you know, I'd like for us to be able to do our own part for not just ALS, but for other charities, disabilities, help, you know, raise awareness, help raise money for these different groups that, work so hard to raise awareness for these different diseases, breast cancer and ALS and probably leukemia, cancer in general, cerebral palsy, even. I'm sure there's tons of them out there. All you have to do is look. But what I came up with is that I thought it would be a good idea to get our community, not our local town community, like our web-based community, and probably local too, involved in this a little bit more. So instead of waiting around for the next big challenge to hit, and it more than likely not having anything to do with a disability or a disease or anything like that, I thought, why don't we just, bring it up ourselves? So what we're challenging our viewers, you invisible people, our community, to do is we're challenging you guys to challenge us. Come up with a charity and a challenge you'd like to do to help, give us a way to talk about it, raise awareness, all that stuff. It doesn't even have to be anything like the Ice Bucket Challenge where it simulates having a disability or disease. It's just give us a challenge that could be interesting, nothing too outlandish.
Yeah, please.
I mean, there's limits to our physical capabilities and so on. But, just pick a charity, pick a disease, the charity, or disease and charity, whatever, you get the idea. And come up with a challenge to challenge us. And then we'll do the same thing that the Ice Bucket Challenge is doing with each of these challenges to help raise awareness for whatever it may be that you would challenge us to. And again, there's going to be some that don't make the cut because of the challenges and things like that. We won't cut because of the charity or anything like that, but it's mostly based on whatever kind of ridiculous challenge might come up with.
Right.
Like I'm not going to let us play Russian roulette. That's not.
That's not cool. Now, if it was with like a paintball gun, no,
that would.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
And same thing we're here talking. Now, if you could find a way to make like a water gun. I can think of some ways to actually make it, but I just don't have any of the tools to actually make a water gun. But if you can make a water gun that works out in Russian roulette style, or like if it's like a water gun revolver, you can like fill separate chambers with water.
I could do that. I think I could. I might be able to come up with something.
Hey, you never know. It could be good. It's like then feasible to do water pistol Russian roulette. It could be fine that way. But I don't know, like use hot sauce instead. Like that would hurt, but it's doable. It won't kill us.
No, but as long as we
shoot it
don't...
in your mouth.
Oh God.
Yep, right down the throat. That'll suck. So yeah, so things like that. To support the charity of tonsillitis.
Sure, why not?
But I'm sure you guys get the idea. We want to start being able to do challenges. We're lucky in that our location is pretty near to a city with multiple
colleges.
Yeah, with four actual colleges, and so two of which have decent-sized campuses.
Yep.
Because two are community colleges, and the others are. Actual universities.
Yeah,
so,
one's private and one's state.
Yeah, so we've got quite the capability to get the local community involved in it and, try to get people to do stuff, donate, or do part of the challenge. So, it won't just be us. We can start it, and then we can, challenge the actual local community. We'll do this, like I said, we'll do the same thing that the Ice Bucket Challenge will do. We want to go around and start challenging other YouTube celebrities and things like that. Like challenging Rooster Teeth or the guys from Achievement Hunter again, or Mega 64 Game Grumps. I've got a few personal channels that I follow. Like I'd like to see the idiotic guys from like Vanos Gaming or even like I know there's a couple that are just strictly video game channels, but I'd love to see like my favorite Minecraft YouTuber, Direwolf20, do some challenges that we throw his way maybe.
Oh, nice.
The guys from Vanos Gaming do it maybe, even though I know they're not really the vlogging type. They're about game footage and all that.
Right.
But still, it'd be nice to see some of these people
I'm
actually
sure
get out
for
to
something like that they would be like, sure, why not?
Exactly. Plus like the guys from Vanos Gaming, I'm pretty sure that they'd get a kick out of some of the challenges that our community might be able to come up with.
Yeah.
So basically, the idea is we want to be, for any time that a charity challenge comes out, we want to be the guys behind the community that comes up with these challenges and so we can do our best to try to make sure that we can get them out there. And again, we're blessed with a good-sized city with 4 campuses nearby, some of which are like right next to each other. So we can pull in quite a bit in one shot if we want to. And we're still working out a lot of the general planning behind some of the things for it, but it's something to start thinking about, start really putting some thought into it for us, and start challenging us.
Yeah.
And we don't have to go straight to the college campuses right now. Just start challenging us. We'll do the challenge again if it's feasible, and then we'll pass it on to whoever we feel like torturing next. So,
yeah, exactly.
So again,
we have a whole school, that we could.
So again, if somebody can find a way to like work out a way to do hot sauce roulette,
Hot sauce roulette.
And
that's awesome.
And a good charity for it, and we will start or whatever whatever you come up with, and we'll do it, and it'll more likely if we start doing that, it'll be a separate video from the podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
Because especially if we get like a bigger event going where we get the colleges involved and all that, then we'll probably have tons of videos from tons of people doing the challenge and things like that. So it'll be if we get it going, it should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's good cause and all that, and people around the world get to watch us and hundreds of thousands and so on others making asses of themselves with all these would-be crazy challenges.
Yeah.
So,
but like you said, worth it.
Absolutely.
I mean,
it is. It's totally.
I know that for the Ice Bucket Challenge has raised a lot of money, a lot of awareness. So, if
the gravity of it is really amazing when you stop and think about like some of the people that have done the challenge.
Yeah.
Like members of the Foo Fighters have done the challenge. That's pretty big,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So if you guys are having a hard time finding the Ice Bucket Challenge for whatever reason, they have their own YouTube channel now. It's ALS Ice Bucket Challenge.
Yep.
I haven't had a chance to sit there and look at it yet, but I recommend going and checking it out. They should probably have a bunch of different popular YouTubers and celebrities that have done the challenge. I know Katy Perry did it too.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So there's a bunch of people that have done it, whether it be web celebrity or the A-listers or whatever you want to call them. So yeah, hell, I challenge you guys to give it a shot yourself.
Do it.
And again, just say the word, challenge us, and we're in. So
absolutely.
We may not be able to get to it right away, but we would certainly do it as soon as possible. I'd say if we got challenged this week, we'd make time for it next weekend.
Absolutely. Today, however, an Ice Bucket Challenge would be amazing.
Right. It's not so much of a challenge. It's more of it'd be more of a challenge to stand out there for like an hour without using the ice.
Yes.
So
I feel like it'd melt by the time
it hit us.
Yeah. For us right now, the Ice Bucket Challenge would be more of a thank you.
Yeah. I'd be like, good. So yeah, that's that. It's. Yeah, well, once we get further with it, if we even manage to, which I'd like to think we will.
I'm sure
it's
we
a good
will.
idea. So once we get further with it, then we'll bring up more about it, and hopefully we'll have some challenges by then. We'll, announce some of the challenges on the podcast here, and we'll see what we can do. Let's see here. Okay, in way of entertainment, I don't really have much as I usually would, but I did get to see Guardians of the Galaxy finally.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
What did you think?
I loved it. I think
I
think you were pretty accurate. Batista did a really good job. So
that's what I thought. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I never really thought that he would do such a good job doing what he did, but
right.
it actually really shocked, because you see a wrestler and you just go, bronze, no acting skill.
Right.
And I mean,
see, that's the problem a lot of people have when they look at it that way, is wrestlers have a great acting skill. Now, I'm not saying that wrestling is fake. It's because wrestling is scripted. They have to act out. They have to go through the motions, even though they know who's going to win. They have to be able to get up on the mic. And Batista being, at one point in time, at several points in time, one of the top guys in the business, he had to be able to get on a mic and be able to say stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Do pretty good. And usually keep lines. Because most of the time, a lot of the guys go out there and they already have, memorized what they're going to say. And so a lot of them wing it, but, it's kind of, it is what it is. So they already have to know how to act. And, yeah, so, usually wrestlers could make a pretty good actors.
Yeah.
Although, it also still comes down to the script.
Right.
Like, I've seen Batista in a few different movies. He did the Scorpion King 3. He didn't really have any lines in that. That was his first real
film.
thought
he did. Was in that.
He did, he was in the last Riddick movie, which, he...
Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
He didn't have a whole heck of a lot of lines in that either, but, he did a good job for his character. He was in a movie where he was trying to track, I don't remember how it was, it wasn't a great movie, but I think he did a good job acting, and it's just that the script wasn't that great. But, when it comes down to it, it also has a lot to do with the script. So.
Yeah. Well,
in WWE, they make, like, the Marine movies. The Marine? Yeah, they remember the Marine with John Cena. It was John Cena's first acting gig. It's through the WWE studios. It's a movie. How have you missed that? That was like a big thing when the first one came out because it actually went to theaters.
Because I probably looked at it all being wrestling and whatever and went,
You probably wouldn't have because you probably don't even know who the hell John Cena is. No. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, you'd have to watch it. I don't like explaining movies like that because I feel like I missed something important or making it sound stupid. But the first one was in theaters. The second one was just straight to DVD and all that shit. And they're coming out with a third one now, too. That I'm really not looking forward to, but...
There we go.
But,
she wants to be retarded for a second.
You threw me off. I forgot where I was going with that. So, never mind. Forget anything. Yeah. Oh, no, actually, that makes a good point. The script for the first Marine wasn't the greatest. It didn't do that well. The script for the second Marine, well, there's a reason why it went straight to DVD. The script for the third Marine, I don't know yet, but there's a reason why the person being the hero in this one is The Miz.
The Miz?
It's
until I don't follow wrestling.
Oh, no, that's fine. The Miz, actually, he's a guy that years ago went through, I think it was the second time WWE did something called Tough Enough. That's basically where they took in some new people that were in development contracts and all that, and then put them through hellacious training to see if they could make it in the big leagues kind of thing. So, because the major wrestling companies have always usually had a secondary company where they put the new guys and let them build up popularity there, and then move them into the big leagues. So, in WWE's case, it's OVW, it's Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Oh, so, okay.
And it's obviously based out of Ohio, and it doesn't really move. It just, you go there, you live in Ohio for a while, and you wrestle on a weekly basis for that company. It's not televised or anything. It's dark matches pretty much, which means, it's not televised. So, and when you get to the point where you become champion and you get, good popularity in there, then you usually, more often than not, get moved to actual WWE, Raw and SmackDown, and things like that. So, WCW used to have a training facility called the Power Plant. It was the toughest training facility known to, well, second toughest probably to most people, known throughout the wrestling organization, and if you couldn't cut it in the Power Plant, you weren't going to be on TV in the WCW. The toughest ever was the Hart Dungeon. It was a wrestling school up in Canada, and yeah, but it was originally created by Stu Hart, and you had to be tough and you had to be good to make it through there. Otherwise, you weren't going to make a name for yourself coming from Canada. Like, most of the top Canadian wrestlers that have ever been on TV have come from that school. And there's more than you think, so...
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to imagine Canada and wrestling that just don't...
Actually,
I keep imagining, like, them knocking the shit out of some dude and going, yeah,
sorry,
hey, let me help you up, eh?
No, but, like, honestly, some of the, there's some Canadian wrestlers who are, like, extremely well-known legends, My favorite, and has been my favorite for a long time, is Bret the Hitman Hart. He wrestled through the 80s and 90s. I actually, years ago, when the WWE, then WWF, came to Redbird Arena for a show back in 91, I think it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I got to go, my mom took me and my brother, and we went with one of my mom's friends and her daughter, and we got to go see it, and it was awesome. I was happy because I got to see some of my favorite wrestlers at the time, and some people that I still consider legendary in my mind this many years later. And Bret Hart was one of them. It's like, that's awesome. I got to see Macho Man Randy Savage fight Jake the Snake Roberts in a steel cage match. Like, that's awesome. So, that was a great childhood memory. But, so I've been a fan of Bret Hart and his family because Bret Hart, he's the son of the guy who ran the Hart Dungeon. So,
right.
But he didn't get a free pass. He had to work his ass off just as hard, and now he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. Which is surprising because Vince McMahon screwed over Bret Hart many, many moons ago, like, horribly at a pay-per-view, and it wasn't gimmick or anything like that. Bret was planning to leave the WWE, and he was going to willfully give up the title, like, the next Monday night on Raw after the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And instead, Vince, in Bret's hometown in Canada, screwed him over out of the title. Made him look ridiculous and all that because the opponent was Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels put Bret Hart into his own submission move, and then Bret, who was moving around to reverse it, he almost had it reversed, and then Vince McMahon had the timekeeper ring the bell, so the match is over, winner Shawn Michaels, blah, blah, and all that shit. And it's like, Bret didn't tap. It was an obvious screw job.
Wow.
You'd be surprised. Vince McMahon is a businessman. He's a pretty good businessman, but he's also an extremely petty human being. Like, he's a dick. Like, if you get on his wrong side personally... I always thought that was
show play.
Show play?
Or whatever you want, or just, like,
bad acting. No, he's actually...
Because he always reminded me of a cross between, like, a bulldog and Donald Trump.
Right.
He'd be walking out,
his power walk.
like, Yeah, you're a little chump.
That power so, yeah, you can say that, but he ain't little, dude. Vince McMahon under that suit is fucking buff. Like, he's in his mid to late 50s, and he still could kick the shit out of either of us.
Well, anybody could kick the shit out of me.
He's ripped, dude.
I mean, like, seriously, somebody kicks the shit out of me, there ain't gonna be nothing of me left.
All the shit that WWE probably ever caught about steroids over the years, and he's probably been taking them all this time. So,
yeah, probably.
So it's kind of, you know, but yeah, he's ripped. So, but he's also a dick. Like, there's one guy.
Well, you gotta be some way taking all them steroids.
You don't have one, gotta be one.
Yep, exactly.
But no,
he called it.
there's a guy who was just an announcer for the most part, and he did a lot of creative stuff in the backstage too, called Jim Ross. Jim Ross originally came over to WWE from WCW. Vince McMahon had a chip on his shoulder about WCW at the time, and then pretty much just continued to, throughout the years, torment Jim Ross as much as possible on screen, and try to act like it was gimmick, but it was actually personal. He was trying to make a fool out of the man the best he could. He'd fuck with him in his hometown in Oklahoma as much as possible. He was a complete bastard to the man. And then eventually, a couple of years ago, just eventually got tired of keeping him on the payroll and just fired him. And he had been with the company for like 20 years.
Huh? I know other companies that would probably do that to a person.
Yeah, like the one you work at, probably.
Well, I wasn't gonna name names.
I'm not naming names. I'm just saying it's one you work at.
Well, hopefully none of my bosses watch this.
I said it, not you. But, you know.
Now this is true.
Anyway, I could keep on wrestling for a long time. It's one of those things.
Yes, we know.
I grew up with it. I was introduced to it by my grandpa when he was still alive, and you know, that man was my hero. So I grew up loving wrestling, and I've stuck with it for years. And hell, he used to wrestle in the amateur circuit. So,
oh, nice.
You know, until somebody busted his nose pretty good, and he couldn't breathe anymore through it. So,
ouch.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like I said, wrestling is scripted, but people get fucking hurt, man. Like the best example would be a couple years ago, a guy who's probably in his early 40s. His real name is Adam Copeland, I think it was. His in-ring name was Edge. Still had plenty of potential, still looked pretty young, still very athletic, but he had taken enough damage over time to his neck that the doctors told him, you have to retire. If you don't retire now, then the next time you do a move in the ring could be the last thing you can physically ever do again. Like, he could have been stuck in a wheelchair if he did one more thing in the ring. So even if he comes up as a guest on WWE sometimes, nobody will actually touch him because they don't want to do that to him.
Right.
But,
nobody wants that legal liability.
Right.
Understandable.
But, like, the next year he was inducted in the Hall of Fame, which is great because I think he's a great wrestler. Anyway, I may not have always liked his gimmick, but he was a great wrestler, no matter what. And he was world champion multiple times, tag champion multiple times, but he still had a lot. I don't even think he was in his 40s. I don't know. I can't keep track of their age all the time. But he still had a lot he could have done in his career. He could have won the title a few more times. He could have been tag champion with his best friend ever again, multiple times. But he actually, the last real match, real big match he had was at WrestleMania a couple years ago, and it was to defend the title. So he actually got to walk out with his head up and say, I'm going out the champion. And then they had to vacate the title, do whatever, tournament and all that to give a new champion and all that. But it's it's dangerous. It really is dangerous. There's been plenty of people that have unfortunately stepped into a ring and had to step out way too soon.
Yeah. Of course, I remember that one guy you were telling me about that he jumped. And
no.
hit the turnbuckle.
He didn't jump. Part of his gimmick was to come down on a rope and cord and all that from the rafters, and the rope went slack or something like that. It wasn't connected properly. And
that's what it was.
It was a accident, actually. He didn't jump, it was an accident. And
well, I remember
he
that
is one of the other sons of the founder of the infamous Heart Dungeon.
Oh, okay.
That family, after that, was pretty much cursed with bad luck. Owen Hart, he died from that. Later in the years, Bret Hart suffered from a stroke and hasn't been able to wrestle since. He's not in the shape for it anymore. Their brother-in-law, the British Bulldog, he OD'd on painkillers.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Stu Hart, the founder of the dungeon, passed away. He was old though. He was old as shit. So, but it's like, it's kind of bad for the family. But you know, a lot of people that still came out of the Hart Dungeon have been pretty badass. So, but yeah, that day I heard about that was fucking heartbreaking to me, man, because he was one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm like, wait, really?
Yeah.
I guess, like, I don't know, I just never thought they'd totally allow something that,
reckless?
Yes.
Well, the WWE will try a lot of things, and WCW would too, but after that incident, they have never done any gimmick that would allow somebody to come down like that again. So,
and that's smart.
I mean, like, what a lot of people don't realize is there's also, like, there's moves that wrestlers do that have been banned from being used in the ring anymore. Like, there's a move that had been used for probably 20 to 30 years in wrestling called the power driver. About 4 years ago or so, I didn't even realize it until I recently read up on it. Like, oh yeah, I haven't seen it for a while. Apparently, it got banned at some point.
Why?
The power driver is, you pick a person, you put the person's head between your legs, and then you lift their body up, and you drop them on their fucking head.
Yeah.
Now, Owen Hart did a special type of that one time to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Instead of having him facing outwards, he had him facing inwards, and then sat down with it.
Oh!
That fucked up Stone Cold's career.
Oh.
It ended it early. He was able to come back to the ring for a while, but the injury just was too nagging, and he had to eventually, after a couple more years back, he had to leave again and retire officially. So he was forced into retirement because of something that happened in the ring. There has been wrestlers that have died in the ring from heart attacks or whatever. So
See, I thought you were gonna say moves like what you see in like MMA, you know, style, like, you know, just totally go batshit crazy and pull out some jiu-jitsu and
part of the thing about wrestling is they do allow some of that stuff, but it's one of those, they hold back on it.
Well,
like if somebody's gonna get kicked in the head, usually they're gonna pull back. It's not even always gonna really connect. It's just gonna look good.
Yeah.
Though sometimes you get those kicks that connect, and those wrestlers can kick a lot harder than you think.
Well,
you get some. Then they're wearing these thick leather boots usually. They can have a sickening fucking thud, dude.
Yeah, I know. Well, see, and that's what I've said for years. Like, I'm sorry, he won't say that's fake. I will say
most wrestlers would beat your ass for saying it's fake.
Let's put it this way: if they're as big as they are, you punch anyone 20 times with arms about that big and biceps that big, I guarantee you're gonna kill somebody. They ain't getting back up from it. If they do, what the fuck are they on? Some PCP?
And I'll grant you, yes, they pull their punches. You know, if you ever actually watch closely when they go into punch,
I have.
They purposely open their fist. It usually turns into a quick slap or a half-ass punch like this, where you catch them with the front side of instead of your actual knuckles.
Yeah, I've seen them do that.
Wrestling is not so much fighting as much as it's entertainment. It's just entertainment.
You know, you put it that way, I go okay.
And, there's a lot of people that put it as it's a soap opera for men. It is.
Okay,
I
can go with that.
It's just that, in a sense, it's like other sports. People can get hurt.
Right.
Like, there are moves that are done by some people that could really hurt other people.
Right.
Wrestlers are just trained to take it.
Right.
Like
you
that,
know, but
like that's
I'm
part
the
of going
type
to
guy
wrestling
that
schools.
I would rather sit down and watch an actual boxing match or an actual MMA.
Boxing's for pussies too. They use padded gloves. MMA is better.
I
UFC.
Yes. I have seen some of that stuff. I actually rather enjoy that because you actually get to see the real skill come out. And I'm not saying that they're not those guys aren't skilled.
Oh, I know. I mean, some of them have come from
a different kind of skill.
Like, some of those guys have come from those kind of backgrounds. We've got Brock Lesnar, who's the current champion. He was in the WWE for a while. He became the youngest champion at age 25. And then, after a point, left, got exceedingly sick with some sort of strange infection, and then got over it. And then turned around and jumped into UFC and worked his way to the top and became the champion in the UFC.
Wow.
And now he's back in the WWE again, became the champion again. The first time he ever set foot back in the WWE ring again a couple years ago, it wasn't planned. You know, it was him and John Cena, and Brock apparently still remembering some of his UFC training and not so much of his WWE training, actually really connected with punches to John Cena. He busted his shit wide open. Cena was not supposed to be bleeding in that match. He was. From the mouth. A lot. And he won. He looked like the loser, but he won. So, things can happen. You know, it's basically what it is. Like, these guys are trained to take these things, trained not to kick you as hard as possible or punch you as hard as possible. However, I guarantee you that if a fan decides to jump into the ring out of nowhere, they will beat the shit out of that fan. Like, that is rule number one in the unspoken rules of the wrestling ring. If you're a fan, you're there to watch. You do not jump in. You need, especially an adult, you need to know this is scripted, this is planned, these guys are professionals. If you jump in there, they'll just kick the shit out of you.
Yeah, well, and
because I've seen it before. There was
really?
It was a pay-per-view. It was back when Eddie Guerrero was still alive. It was a ladder match between Eddie Guerrero and I don't remember who exactly. Eddie Guerrero was going up on the ladder, and a fan runs in out of nowhere, slides into the ring, and pushes the ladder down. Now, sometimes they'll use this kind of thing as a gimmick to introduce a new character. It's been done before. This was not gimmick. This guy was
wasn't a gimmick?
This guy was a scrawny, bald, white motherfucker who just decided he was going to be stupid and jump the barricade. Security didn't catch him. He slid in and knocked the ladder over while Eddie was on it. Eddie landed on his feet and clocked the guy and got on top of him and started wailing on him. It's like, you do not jump into that ring if you're not meant to be in that ring.
Guys that big don't have any business just wailing on him. I mean, just to clock him once, I think, would have got the point across.
Yeah, but you got to think, Eddie was getting up on top of a ladder. If that guy comes in and does things wrong unexpectedly like that, that could have killed him.
Okay, good point.
This is like a 10-foot ladder he was climbing up. Had it been any later, he would have been higher up on the ladder, and he could have seriously gotten injured. It could have cost him his career or his life.
Okay, good point.
So, Eddie wasn't one of those actually bigger guys. He was considered a luchador, fast-paced. He had muscle mass, definitely, but he wasn't one of the really big guys. So
yeah, those big guys. I'm like, steroid much, buddy?
Actually, the sad thing is there was one wrestler who that the WWE got broken down on again. This guy, he got his fame for being really muscular, really strong in WWE, and he was getting up there in popularity. They were about to put him in the world title picture, really. His name was Chris Masters. Then the WWE got hit with charges of steroid use again, and so they started their wellness policy and all that, and they told Masters, like, all right, look, you got to stop taking the steroids. And he did. He stopped taking the steroids, and he lost so much muscle, it wasn't even funny. Like, he stopped completely and lost almost all the muscle that came back. He just really did not look anything like himself anymore. He came back, and the WWE didn't care anymore. They barely used him. He was back for like 2 months, and then he was gone again. And it's like, that's ridiculous. So.
Wow.
I mean, I like wrestling. I love watching it. Some of the gimmicks are great, you know, and the storylines and all that stuff. But when it comes down to, if you really get into it, like me and some of my other friends and family do, like we know the behind-the-scenes politics that happen, and we know how much bullshit it is to work in that business. Like, more often than not, if somebody comes from the brand called TNA to WWE, those guys are treated like utter shit.
See,
no matter who they are.
See, and when you guys always talk about TNA,
I know,
always,
you think tits and ass.
Always, not sometimes, always.
Tits
and I'm
and
like,
ass,
I would rather go for TNA all the time, every day.
There was actually a tag team about 10 years ago or so called TNA. It was a guy named Test and a guy named Albert. Test, who was actually before he became a wrestler, was a roadie for Motley Crue.
Oh, nice.
Now, they did have a hot chick that was with them, Trish Stratus. She's retired, in the Hall of Fame already, probably in her 40s, and still fucking fine. Like, no lie.
Boy.
She is hot. But anyway, sorry, I did it. Yeah, you've got stuff to talk about, so I'll let you have the floor for a while.
The floor. I got plenty of
well,
floor.
it's technically already your floor.
I was gonna say, right?
So,
I just kind of let you borrow it a little bit.
I'm just gonna sit here and point.
That's fine. He's gonna point.
Pert.
Words are hard.
Sit here.
Yeah, that too.
The air conditioning feels nice, but it ain't working that good because it's still too hot outside.
Right. So you haven't seen any of the previews for the November Man?
I have not. I've seen plenty of previews for several other things that are going to be coming out that I can't remember off the top of my head, but that one of them.
Yeah. See, and I've seen lots of previews, but the ones that have stuck in my head is that one, the November Man. But it's Pierce Brosnan, and I swear to God, it looks like he's doing James Bond all over again. Don't get me wrong, I liked him in James Bond.
Right.
Now, you talk to our buddy Charles, he thinks he just sucked, but he, I don't know.
I like Sean Connery better.
See, I do too, but I don't know. I like Bond. Bond is Bond. I mean, seriously, you know.
Talking to number 4 again.
Yeah,
That's something we're gonna do.
No, we won't. But no, that movie, I forget when it's even coming out. I'm sorry, guys.
Roger Moore was a good Bond too. Like, I don't know if anybody else grew up with a mom like mine who was a big Bond fan, you know. And so I knew the Bond movies. I haven't watched any of them in years, but I knew them. I've seen them all except for the newer ones, like whatever they're called. So I've seen Roger Moore, I've seen Sean Connery, I've seen Pierce Brosnan, I've seen all those guys and all their Bonds and all that stuff. And so, you know, I was kind of a fan, you know. It's another one of my guilty little nerddom pleasures and all that. There's a little bit of Bond. James Bond.
Right. So
James Bond is shaken, not stirred.
So August 27th.
August 20th. Oh, so that's not that far from
Yeah,
now.
I was gonna say. I'm like, well, I know it's soon. So August 27th. It's a Wednesday.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a weird release, but
Well, that's what I got for our area anyway. But
right. No, it's understandable. Sometimes you'll get those weird releases.
But you know,
so what's it called again?
The November Man.
You'd think it'd be coming out in like November, like you feel like if it were us making a movie called The November Man, I'm kind of pretty sure that we'd do that thing of like, let's hold off until November to release
I
it.
know. I would too, but probably numbers.
Right.
You know.
Depending on the studio, might be, well, we need a hit out now. Let's see if we can do this one.
Yeah, well, and
or
probably
we can't afford to
they
hold
probably
it back
could
any
only
further.
get Brosnan for so long.
Well, right, but you know they could have still done the filming and have everything taken care of and just hold off until November. Be like, we're gonna sit on this for like another couple months. It's just a couple months. It's not that big of a deal. And then boom, people will be like, oh, the November Man in November. Ooh, I'd be more likely to see it.
Now, the only difference is that, you know, he's not playing a British Secret Service agent.
Right.
He's actually an ex-CIA agent.
Ah, so he's actually going to have an American accent?
No, it doesn't sound like it, really.
Alright.
I mean...
All right. Because, I mean, I know there's actors that are British that can do an American accent.
Oh, I do too,
the
but
guy that plays House, he's British.
Yeah, I know.
And he doesn't.
He does.
He can change his accent amazingly.
I know.
I'm impressed.
I'm like, seriously, I would never have guessed it.
Right, until I saw him like in an interview one time.
Yeah,
It's like,
and I'm like, wait, you're British. What the hell, man?
He's a limey git.
There's been I watched that Top Gear once in a while, and they'll have actors on there that are British, and you know I've always heard them with you know, American accents, like the guy who plays oh my gosh, the new Bones on Star Trek.
I don't actually know the actor's name.
Can't remember the guy's name.
Got IMDb right there, bro.
Yep. And then the guy who plays... Oh, shoot. My mind just quit working. It's always fun.
Wouldn't be the first time. But, yeah, it is one of the things like that is surprising sometimes. That's why I like voice acting, you know? Sometimes you can sit there and like you can hear a voice for a character for an anime or a regular cartoon or whatever, time and time again. Like sometimes the amazing thing is you can hear the same person do two separate voices and think, oh, that's not the same person. Then you go to like a convention or watch one on YouTube, like, hey, that's the same person? Really? They did that? Like okay, there's this one voice actress, Monica Rial. She has a pretty high-pitched voice, kind of, and not to tell me, but it sounds like kind of whiny, and it's her natural voice. And she uses that voice, just her regular voice sometimes, for plenty of characters. But you would never think that a person with a voice like that could actually do like a deeper, quieter, somewhat sexy type of tone to a voice. But
really,
yeah, it's one of those things. Like I've watched enough anime that she's voiced over, and I've seen the ones plenty of times where she's done their normal voice, and it's like, who does the voice for this? That can't be her. There's no way that can be her. Her voice isn't like that. And then eventually I got to the point where like I know it's her no matter which voice. She's only got really two separate types, so to speak. So I can't pick them up, but that's just one of those things like that surprised me. Like, how can she do that voice? So, yeah, so that, it's like, that's amazing. It's amazing how, you know, like we said, how British actors can come and be like, hey, American accent. Or,
oh, yeah.
I mean, like, for us, it's like, it's not as amazing for an American actor to do, like, a British or a Scottish accent or something like that. And it's like, oh, that's just Hollywood. They learn.
Yeah.
But for some reason, for Americans, it's like, that British guy can do an American accent.
Yeah, it shouldn't blow our mind.
No, it's just that cultural thing, you know?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not think anybody would actually try
and that's what it is. It's like you actually try to have an American accent. Right. Oh, by the way, Carl Urban is the guy's name.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, I know the name of it. But yeah, most of the time it's like a British accent or even an Irish or Scottish or just an accent in general. Coming over here that isn't, I'm sorry not to be racist, but that isn't like Hispanic, is usually considered sexy.
Yeah.
You know, like most European accents are considered sexy here in the States.
Absolutely.
Or exotic or intriguing or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really expect someone with that that kind of European accent of any sorts to come over here and try to sound like us.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It really
it's
is.
Weird. Stop it. No, because sometimes like I'd say stop it, but I can't because let's face it, I don't think I could have picked a better actor to play House.
I know, and it's like every time I see him, I always think of what crazy things will he do now, and then it's like no, he's playing something different.
Another fine example, Hugh Jackman. He's fucking Australian.
I know.
And he does a great regular old American accent.
Who knew?
Yeah, like that's wow. So yeah, I'm amazed. I mean, like I can sit here and practice my British accent until I'm blue in the face, and it's like no, it doesn't faze me or anybody else.
Although it is pretty cool, the woman who played Deanna Troi on the show, she didn't really have a British accent,
right.
But you could tell that she was kind of, you know, I don't know how you want to say, you could always tell there was, you know, more of a try to cover up an accent or something like that. But it always made her, that's what always kind of gave her the sex appeal, kind of.
Right.
You know, but in the movies, she just had the accent. And not like a thick, heavy, but it was enough that you could hear it, and it was, her accent is just, I love it.
Speaking of accents, though, something I found fun is that if you come across someone that should have an accent but doesn't, there's a good chance they're hiding it, kind of thing. I like to try to pay attention and catch that. I had a physical therapist a few years ago, and I was listening to her talk one day, and she sounded, you know, like she'd been from Illinois our whole life, had our, you know, way of speaking and all that stuff. And then I caught a northern accent slip out all of a sudden. I could hear it. It was real quick. It was like 2 words, but I could hear it. I could hear a boot. And it's like, oh, I have a new goal now. I have to catch her. Because for whatever reason, she was trying her best to suppress her. She was trying her hardest to suppress her northern accent. But I'd sit there,
that's
like,
hilarious.
While I was doing the physical therapy stuff, I'd sit there and chat with her enough, and she'd start talking too. Like, and I found out more and more. It's like, she was from Wisconsin. She was a Packers fan.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's like I kept getting it more and more, where I'd catch her northern accent and start slipping out. Like, this is freaking hilarious. I love it. It was awesome. I was proud of myself catching that. Well, I was also like the first physical therapist I had. I was trying to hit on her too. She was probably in her early mid-20s at best. Fine-looking redhead, beautiful girl.
Fiery.
Yeah. No, she was in the fire type. She was really sweet.
Well, yeah,
like,
but
like really sweet. Like I guess
sweet outside and fiery under the covers. That's what you want.
The downside is I only had her as my physical therapist like twice, and then things got switched around in the department. So I was like,
that's sad.
Because day one, I was analyzing her and her way of speaking and her movements and all that stuff. I was analyzing everything about her to pick up on whether or not I had a shot in hell. So.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's funny because
it's surprising how much I actually think I might have picked up on about her. Like, I'm getting good at this, or she's really bad at hiding it.
Or just didn't care anymore, got comfortable around you.
Yeah, which is weird for 2 points, but 2 days. But yeah, it's like, okay, like I actually went as far as like, sometimes they use like a sonogram machine to actually massage muscles and joints for you too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so she was doing that. This was for my shoulder.
Okay.
And she was doing that, and I took that time to keep my eyes locked on her hands, and I was looking, and like, there's no ring. Got this.
That's what I look for nowadays. I go, do you have a ring?
Nope. All right, good enough.
Oh, by the way, just so any of you pretty ladies out there are wondering, yes, I am single once again. Sadly enough, Well, not so sadly. I don't.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I feel sad for the rest of the world.
I do too.
But
not because of me. I feel bad for what was released.
I feel bad for both. But
go
ahead.
Come on.
Continue. You're making your own personal plug.
Yeah, true. So I'm out on Plenty of Fish now.
You should explain what that is just in case.
Huh?
You should explain what that is just in case.
Okay. Plenty of Fish is a dating website. I don't even know.
Don't know. You must explain.
Yeah.
It's a dating site.
It's a dating site.
He's on it.
And yeah,
I think
I'm on
I
it.
still am too. Though I haven't
so-
done my profile in like years.
So, if you're on there and... See, here's my rant about... I wasn't going to do it, and now I'm going to do it, because I'm here. Why not? Here's my rant about Plenty of Fish, damn it. You women, talk back. You're like... I don't know.
You're saying that wrong. Wording, dude, wording. You women need to talk back.
You women need to talk back. You're like, I want this, I want this, I want this, and then you get somebody who wants to talk with you, and then you're like, no, I'm not going to reply. And I don't even get that. It's like...
I had a somewhat similar situation. Though I did actually get a reply from the girl. The problem was, I started chatting with this one girl, got a reply from her, replied back to her, there was more I had to say, and got nothing.
Yep.
It was cool. She was a cute girl. She wasn't generally my type, but it's like she was into some of the same stuff I was into. She lived close enough, and it's like, maybe I can make a friend of this lady.
Right.
Because I consider her to be awesome already, because in one of her pictures, she has a fucking Jedi symbol tattooed on her.
Yeah,
like,
I remember you telling me about this chick.
Awesome.
I'm
right?
Okay, already, you've already gone to
you're already at our level here.
Yeah, you're at our level nerd.
Awesome. Yeah, so it's like, I tried talking to her. It's like it worked out for a moment, and then I was trying to talk a little bit more, and nothing.
And part of me wonders if they're doing it or if the site does it. Because they got a thing now where you have to, where they're like, upgrade, pay us money.
Yeah,
it's like, what the hell, man?
You know what? Every dating site will succumb to that. There's the top. I think one of the top 3 ones right now is OkCupid, which is pretty good. It seems a little bit better managed than Plenty of Fish. But
I may jump on that and look at it.
It's not bad. There's some good looking ones in there. There was a point last year, I think it was, or the year before at some point, I was bouncing around dating sites, signing up for a couple just because I was bored and lonely and I really wanted to have sex. So
right,
and that wasn't
shameless plug.
No, that wasn't the only reason. I would like a girlfriend. I'd like to get married and have kids someday. I want that family, but it's irrelevant at the moment. Anyway, the funny thing was, I was hopping through these different sites, and each site I came across, I kept coming across the same girl. The weird part is, not so much weird, but awkward part is, it's somebody I knew.
Oh yeah,
I know her. I used to be pretty good friends with her.
I think I know who you're. Yeah, I do know who.
There she is again. Oh look, there she is again. Every site I went to, I found at least one person, at least 2 people I know, I should say, because there's always this one girl and then some other girl. I found my stepsister's profile once by accident. Wait, you're engaged. What the hell?
Surprise. Some of them, you try and delete them.
Yeah,
it's and they don't delete.
I have a bad habit, and ever since I've ever started, I tried dating sites back when I was in college.
Same here. I think we all did.
And the problem is, I don't think I've ever gone back and deleted an account. I just let it go.
Every time I have, it never is deleted.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
I just forget and move on. Honestly, I haven't checked on OkCupid or Match.com in over a year and I don't remember my username or password.
You know what? I think I might still have a thing on Match.com, but I'll be danged if I check it.
Also, I'm a social coward like crazy. I can't figure out for the life of me how to start a conversation with a pretty girl that might have my interest. I can talk with girls that are like dating, engaged, or married to my friends, or just married, or if I don't find them to be, you know, what I'm looking for in general. It doesn't necessarily mean ugly or anything like that, it's just not what I'm looking for. You can get along with them just fine. You put me in front of someone that I take interest in, and I got nothing.
Well, it was kind of like that girl at Best Buy,
Right.
you know, in Normal, Normal, you know, and it's like, dang it, you're hot, you're nerdy, you and I speak the same language, and I'm like, we should go hang out, have coffee. Whoa, and I'm like, really? I kind of felt that connection. Apparently, she did, and it was kind of sad. But at least I made the move.
It was sad.
I'm like, really?
Yeah, but you know what though? I think you made that move a little too fast. You need to give it time. Usually, it's like I have a rule. I don't get to play that off for myself for obvious reasons. Girls can't handle this, but. Well, look, when you start with the sex and you've got this much weight, momentum starts to...
Well, that's why you start with them on top.
Right, usually that's why I like it. Less work for me, too. Anyway.
I get complaints that I have too much stamina.
I've never had complaints about it, but...
It's not really a complaint, per se. It's just... You know, after about 2 hours, they're going, I'm, Charlie horsing. And it's like, I'm sorry.
Some things are cramping, some things are going numb. Maybe we should take a break.
And it's like, okay. Well, usually by the time that happens, I'm like, do you want to stop? No. Oh, okay.
I tell you, the second time I ever had sex in my life, also led to the third time, but it's relevant to the story.
Okay. I just love how you did that.
Yeah, the second time I had the stamina to go for quite a while. We lasted a little more than 2 hours before, we literally couldn't take anymore. We were going at it so hard that it started to hurt our hips. Like we were doing it the fun way. And then we went at it again the next morning after we woke up, which sucked kind of because she didn't give me a chance to get up and take a morning piss like every guy should get the chance to do. Oh. And so it's like, all right.
Yeah, that's never fun.
It's solid, but ain't nothing going to happen. If I let one thing loose from this thing, the other's going to come out too. We don't want that. So, I mean, yeah, you're lucky I got the condom on, but that's going to fill up pretty damn quick. And I'm not helping you get it out of there.
And it ain't gonna be what you think it is.
Right. So, yeah, but anyway.
So why is there a straw in there? Trust me.
But anyway, the thing is, we were at her dorm room. We went to go to hang out with our other friends later that day, that next day, down at their dorm room. We had to walk across it was a small campus, but because usually considered a community college, but it was a small campus. We were walking funny the whole way. We were holding on to each other to keep ourselves standing.
That's hilarious.
Because we did it right. Like, I got to hear the words, no, don't stop, in that order.
That's always a good thing.
So, ladies, what's up? Just saying, I got people that can vouch for me. Hashtag whiskey and love.
Hashtag loads of love.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we're trying to say is we're single and we're out there.
Yeah.
We're on the prowl. Yeah.
You know.
Look, it is what it is. Like, you have sex with me, there's a good chance that I'm going to, like, rock you to sleep.
I mean, like, I know that I'm kind of all gushy and whatever. I'm sorry, you know.
Let's put it this way. Nowadays, if a girl decides she wanted to have sex with me and she wanted to be on top, she probably gets seasick. I'm the one-man wave machine.
There are some things in life I don't need the mental image of.
Right, but it's okay. She'll be perfectly safe. There's going to be plenty of semen.
Oh, I should have saw that coming.
Sorry, I went there.
You did.
Anyway, based on math and time, we should get to whatever else you got to talk about.
All
so
right.
we can try to get to Reddit if there's anything worthwhile on there this time. Which I think there is.
Oh yeah, I know what else I wanted to talk about. Very important thing. Robin Williams died.
Yeah, that...
Dude.
I mean,
what the hell?
We're a little late, but I mean...
it's there. Like...
Shit, man. That one stung.
Yeah.
Like that guy is...
63, the dude was my dad's age, man.
Well, it's not like he died of natural causes.
Well,
or anything,
no, but still. And, you know, and that again, you know, kind of goes back to raising awareness for different stuff, you know, because he dealt with severe depression.
I got it. I got a challenge that can take care of that.
Oh?
Dates for depression.
Yes.
I happen to actually be suffering from depression. If you don't mind, I'll take a date.
You heard the man.
Like, I will take the actual food, the date. Like, you know, 3.
See, I do not suffer from depression currently, but I would take the date anyway.
Well, depressed people come first.
I agree.
But that's usually because they're sad already.
Yes. And lots and lots of sex help with that. But I remember a interview that did on Good Morning America, I think it was, and he talked about how he was always afraid to drive over the Golden Gate Bridge, and it was never because he was afraid of falling off or the height or anything like that. He was always afraid of stopping the car and just jumping off the side of the bridge. He was always afraid that he just would end himself, you know, and I mean, it comes to that. I mean, it's a sad thing, you know.
When a man who's brought so much laughter and smiles to people that he felt so horrible.
Well, and what was he on? His third marriage?
Something like that.
You know, so...
But I didn't even know. Again, I'm not one to delve into celebrities' lives.
No, I'm not either, but...
Especially ones I'm big fans of and ones that I grew up with as a kid. Like I have seen so many Robin Williams movies. That's not even funny.
Absolutely. Hook, Patch Adams,
What's your favorite? What was your favorite Robin Williams movie?
Bicentennial Man.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
There was a few of them I liked. People might hate me for this one because it doesn't get much love, but What Dreams May Come, I rather like that movie.
That was the one where his wife was in a coma?
No, that was the one where his wife killed herself and then he died and went to heaven and went on like a search to find her in hell and all that. And
okay, I thought that she was in a coma and he was trying to... See, that's the thing. I could never.
It's been a long time
I've never seen the movie all the way through, so I never.
Yeah. No, they were all dead. That was mostly set in heaven and hell and him trying to find her. I can't remember how it all happened, but it's
because
But it was one of those things like.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
Seen it all the way through.
Death to Smoochie was pretty good.
Yeah.
I couldn't appreciate that as much when I was younger, but when I got older, I actually started appreciating it a little bit more. And it's insanity in its own right.
Yeah, right.
Hook was a staple of my childhood.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly. So I can always appreciate that one.
I always remember Hook, you know.
Yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, that was a staple of my childhood too. See, this is that part. There's so many Robin Williams.
I know, right? And
the thing is,
Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah, that one I didn't really watch. That
Really?
much.
Dude, that was hilarious.
Oh, I remember it being good, but, you know. What else? I know that I had some others in mind off the top of my head.
Morgan Mindy. That was
It's not a movie, but it was a great show.
It was a great show.
Again, another firm staple of my childhood.
Right. Well, I remember watching reruns of that, and I always thought it was funny because David Letterman would be on the show once in a while.
Right.
You know, and I was like, that is really funny because, you know, later on in life, Williams would come on to the Letterman show a lot, you know.
Yeah. It's weird how that stuff works out sometimes.
I know, right?
But I don't know. There was one movie I did get sick of was the movie Jack, because my brother has a bad habit of overplaying movies that he enjoys, and like that point, he'll sit there and watch them again and again every fucking day for months and months.
I don't know.
I loved the movie. I thought it was a great movie, but it just, my brother overwatched it to the point where I couldn't watch it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, you know, I could.
The Birdcage.
I don't know that I remember that.
He played a gay character in it.
Yeah, that's probably why I never watched.
Lame. It's a great movie. It's hilarious.
Sorry.
Hateful. Yeah. It's a great movie, though. I think it's a really hilarious movie, and it doesn't really speak on the topic too much, but kind of does. But it's a funny movie. You know, so, actually, he's gay in it, but he and his lover have to act straight because.
Oh, that one.
I think it was his son was wanting to get married to this girl. She knew that his dad was gay or whatever, or his vice versa. But, you know, the other parents wanted to meet them, but they were, you know, a little high-strung and wouldn't like if they were gay and blah, blah, blah. So, like, they had to fake it and all that shit. It was hilarious.
Huh. Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
If I remember right, that was the plot of it. But it was a great movie. So, you know what? I'd like to say, honestly, I don't think there was anything that Robin Williams did that I didn't actually like.
Right.
So I mean, I never got to see the new show that he was in before he died, but.
Neither had I. I do know that, you know, some of his stand-up though got a little too much raunchy for me.
I like raunchy. So.
I mean, I do too. Don't get me wrong, but.
One of my favorite things ever was when they had him on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh my gosh,
that was hilarious.
Awesome.
Yes.
Oh man.
You know, Reddit had a mega thread about Robin Williams as soon as everybody found out he passed away. They started a mega thread on Ask Reddit, and it was just, you know, mega threads are like, you know, somebody will ask a question on there about, like in this case, Robin Williams, and a bunch of people will answer, and then somebody will post another question, and people will answer, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So it's, you know, it's a mega thread. But there was some in there about, like, you know, what was your favorite Robin Williams movie and all that. One person put, it wasn't a movie, it was when Robin Williams played the game Sport. Like, it was before it was released, and he actually he got the chance to be on some EA panel for the game. Like, they had got him there to play it for the audience, and he played it for like a half an hour, messed around with it. It was funny, sitting there watching him do it and talking and all that. It was pretty good.
I never knew that he even did any of that.
Yeah, I recommend checking it out sometime because it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I'll definitely look that up.
Because I found it when I was still waiting for Sport to come out. It was like getting close to coming out. It's like, yeah, you know, it's supposed to be out a year ago, but okay. And then I found the Robin Williams. I'm like, oh, sweet shit, this is going to be awesome. Was not disappointed. So, yeah, Whose Line Is It Anyway? That was hilarious. I loved it. So,
I always love watching Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah, I love both versions. I love the American version, and I also love the British version. Because I first got into the American version, and then one summer they had the British version on Comedy Central, and I stumbled across it, and it's like, oh hell yeah, this is awesome.
Well, and
because they had some of the same people in there too.
Yeah,
okay,
no. Well, and the fact that British humor.
Yeah.
So it's like
sometimes it's stale, sometimes it's salty, but it's still pretty funny.
It's still funny though. Like, it's like favorite movie of all time is still Monty Python, Search for the Holy Grail.
Yep.
Or what's the other one?
Life of Brian. That's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, or Shaun of the Dead.
Yep. Funny enough, Simon Pegg. Simon Pegg, who's Shaun in Shaun of the Dead, and Scotty, and all of those other characters. Right. One of his first real starts on screen was his, if I remember right, it was his own series called Spaced, and it was a cheeky, British comedy series where he and this girl both lost their, both got dumped by their significant other and all that, no, he got dumped and her significant other was going off to America for business or whatever, or college or some shit, and they met in a restaurant, became friends, got to know each other, complained to each other about not having a new place to move to and all that. And then they eventually decided, all right, we're getting along. We've seen each other here looking through these ads for a place to stay for the past month now. So they get along and they say, all right, we'll just move in together. They find a place that they can move into that's within their price range together, but they have to fake being a married couple to be able to live there. Nice. And it's one of those, it lasts for a few seasons. They get to meet some of the neighbors and become friends with them, while all the while still trying to hide it from all the neighbors and the landlady, and most of the neighbors are crazy in their own way. It's a great series.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
It Red Dwarf?
Yes,
another one.
That was a good one too.
Yeah, I love Red Dwarf. I know it's an old one, but I still love it.
Yeah. I got into watching Red Dwarf because I used to watch PBS for Red Green.
Yep.
Because Red Green was awesome, Canadian show.
Yep.
And then I'd be able to watch Red Dwarf afterwards and the original Doctor Who.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely.
So I got into watching those shows back when I was oh god. I was 10 when I first started watching Red Green, I think. And I could sit there and rewatch the entire series again and still find it every bit as funny.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I always thought that it was pretty funny that one guy on there was really a cat.
Right.
It's like, really? You're in cryo for 3 million years and the cat turns into a person?
Right.
Or, I don't know.
Hello, anime.
Right.
But yeah, good stuff.
Alright.
What else you got?
Shoot. The stuff down in Missouri.
Right. I really haven't read much about it, so that was
it's just, I don't know. It's just stupid, the shit that they're doing. I mean, don't get me wrong. A kid got shot.
Right.
He died. Okay. But the stories are changing every time you hear about it, So it's like, he had his hands raised, no, he was running, no, he was charging, no, and,
I heard that this caused riots.
It caused absolute horrible riots. So bad.
Actually, I'd like to say something about that. Here's the interesting part for me. See, the first time I heard anything about this was on Ask Reddit, and somebody was asking, how bad is it actually there? And it turns out that the writing wasn't so bad. The news was making it seem like it was a lot worse than it actually was.
Oh, yeah.
And that there was barely anybody actually writing. It was secluded just one small, 2 or 3 block area of the town and all that. It's like media turned it into a big mess as usual because media
it's media.
Except for us. We're better than that.
We actually...
For shit.
We actually try to report real news.
Yeah, in a real fashion.
Yeah.
Because we're real.
Yeah.
Well, at least I am.
Well, yeah, I am realistic.
Yeah.
No, but seriously though, that it's like, yeah. I forgot what I was even gonna say. No, but like, okay, peaceful protesting turns into people breaking into stores. I don't know. I still say half that shit is staged because it's like it gets quote unquote so bad down there that they have to call in the National Guard.
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. I'm like, why? You know,
I mean, like, I know
you
there's
have police that people are pissed at because, you know, a kid died.
Yep.
Okay, well, they're still trying to figure that out. Okay, they're brought in county cops to because the people were mad at the local police.
Right.
Fair enough. That is by the book what they should have done.
Right.
Calling in the National Guard and riot gear and, you know, whatever, it's like, really? You really think that excessive force is, you know, like I heard that people over in other countries where that was happening, they were basically getting bullied by cops and whatever.
Right.
They just showed up with pepper spray, you know, they're all in riot gear. They're like, you know, I'm like, well, you know what? We the people say stand down.
Right.
You know, but no, I do disagree that, you know, with actually breaking into stores. I disagree with causing a actual ruckus that actually disrupts everything. You know, especially when you got people coming out at like 2 in the morning to protest.
Right.
But why are you out at 2 in the morning?
Who's listening?
So
No
at that point, I go, good. You know, impose some sort of curfew to curb it.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine. That's within reason. But when you call in the National Guard because we can't handle it, you know, it's like, I'm sorry, is your pussy hurt? You know?
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know, there's just a lot of bad things that I think could have been avoided. The other thing that's sad that's been the buzz is that reporter that got beheaded by ISIS or SISIS or whatever. Yeah.
Y'all can tell I post that bit in the news.
Some I can't. I'm sorry, I don't know names of reporters or whatever. You know.
You can't know everybody.
I can't. Although I got one.
I can, but you can't. I'm allowed to.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. You only think you're allowed to.
No,
but
I have documentation.
I know. I forged it.
No. I went to the president. I got documentation.
Yeah, I know. That was a robot.
So what you're saying on live camera is that you replaced the president with a robot?
Well, I didn't replace him. He was actually out golfing at the time.
Why didn't you replace him? A robot would have been better.
It would have.
Moving on.
Yeah. Anywho, don't give me ideas. Right. No, I'm kidding. I'm
not. Oh.
He's not, but I am. As I do one of these. I swear I'm kidding.
I swear I'm kidding.
Right. No, but these extreme people, you know, they're like these guys apparently are even more extreme than Al-Qaeda. Which I don't even know how the hell you can do that.
Easy. You're also more stupid.
Pretty much. I mean, they basically took 2 reporters hostage. They beheaded one and said, "Read this," which basically was making him say that the country was wrong, that he was raised wrong by his parents, that what he was reporting was wrong, and all this. And you know what? On live camera, on the internet, somewhere, is a video of this poor man being decapitated. Anonymous, go to work. DDoS the hell out of these people, please. Because I would not go on. I expect you to not go on to this website and view this. Not for sanity's sake, then do it for respect of the family. Please. I say again, anonymous, do what you guys do best. I'm sorry if this gets us red flag, but you know what?
Red flag this.
Yeah.
Like, look, if YouTube wants to red flag us, I'll give them something to red flag us.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry. That's actually kind of worth it. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You know, the way I see it, we only made a suggestion. If they do something that's their business.
Yeah, we didn't say what to. We just said do something.
Yeah.
Get on it, yo.
Just do what you do.
Because when it comes down to it, you know what? Fuck terrorism, fuck terrorists. Y'all are assholes. Y'all suck, and nobody likes you.
Pretty much.
Like nobody.
I like something.
Like everybody you think actually likes you secretly hates you.
Yep, pretty much.
They do. They've told me.
Yep, and me
because
too.
I know everybody. So they've told me. I Skype with them.
Yep, every day.
And they have told him because I've told them to tell him how much they hate you. So they hate you. So fuck off.
Terrorists, fuck you.
So kill yourselves, but do it in a fashion that doesn't actually take out anybody else.
Yeah, please.
Do the world a favor. Go away.
You're stupid.
Do the world a favor.
Jihad, whatever. You know.
Don't. That's profile. You don't have to be that.
Okay.
Be terrorist.
Okay. I apologize. I shouldn't have said that.
Terrorists in general. Find the deepest part of the ocean and swim as far as you can.
Yep.
And when you start running out of breath,
and then take a deep breath while you're underwater.
When you start running out of breath, just keep going. And the world will be a better place.
Yes. I think there's a song about that, but I am not gonna sing it.
Right.
For many reasons.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. Alright. And apparently they have another reporter that they're going to try and behead too. They've even sent in, like we actually have sent in, I think the Marines to actually try and rescue this guy, and supposedly failed. Like as far as I know, he is not dead. By the time this is actually uploaded, though, that could all change.
We're gonna hope and pray for the best, though.
Absolutely.
I hope
y'all are. Everybody involved is definitely in our prayers.
Except for the
see, the Marines' job is to arrange the meeting with God. Right. So
enjoy that meeting, fellas.
Yes, you should enjoy that thoroughly. When you meet God, tell him I said hi.
They'll be too busy crying to this,
God, guy. And they'll be like, "But where's my whatever virgins?" And God's like going, "Seriously?"
Never said they were gonna be female. I'm sorry. That's the most common joke for that. So.
Yes. Oh, I've never heard that before.
Really?
I really am not.
That's one of the more common jokes about that, but okay.
That's new to me. I'm serious. But anyway, so yeah, apparently that's kind of what's going on in the world. I mean,
so what you're trying to say is the world we've got terrorists cutting people's heads off, and Robin Williams is dead.
Yeah.
We've got and some kid got shot.
Yeah.
So
I'm
what you're trying to say is the world sucks.
For the parents out there, the family of this child, he is a child to us. We're not
30.
trivializing what's happened, but
I don't want to react without knowing the details. That's I feel bad.
I feel bad.
I mean, I'm 30, so I call
it happened.
A kid died, and that is horrible. It's horrible no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
A young life has been ended.
But I do want to say this: do not put the man on trial by the media. please don't. That's why we have due process. That's why we have a trial by your peers.
That's why we have jury duty.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do the media processing.
Yeah, apparently.
Screw jury duty.
Yeah.
I still haven't gotten a call back.
So, call this number.
No.
I'm kidding. No.
I had valid reasons like that.
I know. I'm kidding.
Alright. Anything else?
Yeah, apparently.
That can be quick.
Yeah, hopefully quick. Apparently we got a TSA now admitting that they're not doing their job. I could have told you that.
Yeah, they're at least admitting it now, so.
I mean, we all knew that. I mean, and if you never did, where have you been? I knew this before I started flying on planes. But apparently they've been letting illegal immigrants, and or aliens, whatever you want to call them.
Little green
By the way, I may have said this before, but apparently somebody wants to try to ban that phrase, illegal aliens.
Well, yeah, I mean, they don't show up in spaceships.
That's true, but illegal immigrants, what?
Well, I mean, I can understand that to a degree. I mean, it is, yes, they're here legally, but there's no reason to be rude. I mean, we don't call legal immigrants legal aliens, right? We call them immigrants. We don't even use the word legal that often. They're just immigrants. Because, but I mean, when they're not here legally, we call them illegal aliens. So we're saying, yes, you guys have done something wrong. Here's an insult. It just seems like it's inappropriate.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, but you're here.
And when I was a kid, I heard that term and thought, wait, you guys know that there's some here, like little green men.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was excited. I wanted to meet a legal immigrant.
Really?
I didn't know that. Like I just assumed
Where?
when I was a kid, like, oh my God, there's a process to actually make it legal for them to come from up there, outer space, into here.
Yeah.
Like, wait, does that mean the government knows that they come and abduct it? And then that just led to a whole other.
It did.
I was a weird kid.
Oh, by the way, Area 51 finally admitted that it is there or something. I don't know.
Right.
All they've really been saying is that they developed super secret planes there, and it's like, right, I think you guys got more, but that's me.
I believe they are what they say they are. Area 52, on the other hand.
I don't know about Area 52. I heard about Area 51 and a half. No,
Area
I'm kidding.
52 is supposed to be like Indiana somewhere.
Oh, shoot. I got something even cooler.
It's got more. Got more.
But it's
I'm
cool.
sorry.
I swear to God, it's cool.
I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry.
He let me talk.
I should have got the duct tape out. My bad.
Failure!
This is going to be a long one. Which sucks because I want to go to sleep. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking of myself again. But you know what? Shut up. Sorry, he's busy looking, and I'm left to talk to myself again because he can't multitask.
Oh, where did it go?
Which one are you looking up? Fancy plane?
No.
Oh.
I had another one that I really wanted to show.
That you didn't already have up?
Yeah. No, I know exactly where it's at.
He says shortly after, he says, where is it?
There it is.
Boom.
Okay. And the screen was actually meant to show images and whatever like this, except that we did. I don't know. It didn't quite work out. It'll work out hopefully next time around though.
Yeah, gas costs money, and we needed to run it over to the next town over to buy something. And
I'm gonna show you this.
They talked about a waste of gas.
Okay. What does that look like to you?
That looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex penis, but petrified. Or a thigh bone.
Thank you. You know where that's at?
In the dirt somewhere? I don't know. That looks like a lot of dirty places to me.
Yeah, it is. That is bones on Mars.
What, all of it?
they're thinking that
Like-
some of it's that good majority of it.
I'm guessing that some of this other discolored stuff is pottery. It looks like, but that certainly does look like a bone.
Well, see,
Or a petrified piece of wood. Either way. Curiosity
took a picture of this. You know what? Show the camera. See if we can. I don't know if they can see this.
Good look at it, but you know.
So they found this on Mars. Curiosity snapped a picture of this, sent it back, and you know what? They're going, I don't know if this is bone. I'm like, you're morons. You know, they got archaeologists on there going, those are, I've seen lots of bones. That is a bone. It looks like a leg bone, a thigh, or it looks like a pelvis bone. You know? Some of it,
that's part of the pelvis. That is where the knee would start connecting, like how it's curved like that. That's where the joint would be.
I know, and that's what. And a lot of people's like, oh well, that's just because your brain is programmed to look for patterns, and that's just a pattern.
Well, guess what? I found one.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it looks like a bone.
I'm not saying any of these other things become bones. It looks like broken pottery.
It just looks like
Like I
but
thought this was
still,
like the Asian dig site here in the world, but that looks like a thigh bone.
Yeah.
Not a
So,
very. I don't know. I'd have to like look at some contrast for it to see what size it actually is, but because I'd like to know if it's bigger or smaller, and if I should be terrified or in awe and find it adorable. I don't know.
Right. But you know, the point is though is
that's the point where we need something up there that I start digging. I hope they GPS that spot.
They're well, either one or two things are probably happening right now. Either they're working to cover it up, or they're actually working to, you know, actually let people know about this shit.
Right.
I'm sorry. I try not to be a conspiracy theorist, but it's like they're like, oh, this isn't that. When I clearly look at a picture and go, you're lying through your damn teeth, you know?
Right, like, I mean, like, I didn't know that was on Mars, and that looked like a bone to me.
Right, and that's
yes, okay, I made the T-Rex penis joke first, but whatever. It looked like a bone to me. It honestly looked like a part of the pelvis and thigh is what it is.
And before I even read the title of the article, I saw the picture and I went, bone.
Now, here's my question. Sometimes you find an article and get ahead of yourself. Have you checked this out on like any other source than that one?
This is
Doesn't matter what it is. I just want to make sure that you've checked it out on multiple sources.
I have not seen it.
So
it was a couple of science things.
Yeah, that's on Coast to Coast AM, and I've heard a thing or two about them that I don't know. I've never really gotten into them, so I don't know much, but I've heard things.
Well, this was one, but I had another one that
I will look up on this more. Maybe not tonight, because like I said, I'm fucking tired, so shut up. But I will try to get around to checking on it more, and if I actually remember to do so, then I will try to come back with results next time and see if I found any more information on it. Or he'll do it right now, whichever.
I'll do it right now.
All right, he can do it right now.
We got it an independent, independent. It's a UK science journal.
Right.
Tech Times, CNET.
Give me something good like CNN. Although CNET ain't bad.
Yeah, I mean, come on, CNET, really?
Yeah.
I'll trust CNET over CNN any day.
Depends. Okay, so it does have other sources apparently. So legit, probably. I'm going to put a stop to you now.
That's fine.
is there anything in Reddit that we actually want to use?
Oh yeah, and while he's looking, one cool thing though that I seen is a windowless plane.
Is it windowless or is that? Oh no, I just said it was windowless.
It says windowless.
Yeah, it's windowless. That's one big screen thing.
Yeah.
It would be windowless so you get to see. It's windowless, but you can see everything. I'm guessing that it has cameras and screens and all that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can figure because, you know, you can't really, that I know of, do glass too well on it all throughout the fuselage of an airplane. I could be wrong, but no, this is pretty cool, a windowless plane. So instead of little big windows, you get all over. So it's a panoramic view of everything going on outside you.
Gotta admit, it's pretty neat looking.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
So look it up.
Okay, let's get into this just a little bit.
Let's do some Reddit here.
Let's try with the lightning round. Try this time.
I'll actually try. I will.
I'd greatly appreciate it.
He wants me to try.
I'd appreciate it if you'd at least try once to do lightning round and understand it. Okay.
Lightning round where I pull out, jump.
Stop.
Damn.
Okay. I just had it. What's easy to get into but really hard to get out of?
Relationships.
That depends on who you ask.
True.
But a valid answer, I'd say. For me, small holes.
S.
Now, drugs.
Drugs.
All it takes is once, and you're in, and to get out, that's a lot harder, man. So.
You know what? That's a valid answer.
Yeah. Okay. How about, what is something you'll never get the hang of?
Skating.
That's true. You never have gotten the hang of skating.
Nope.
But none of us have skated for I don't know how many years.
Yeah, but I have balance issues.
Yeah,
still,
understandably
so you know.
I think for me, that is a tricky one actually. I could say women. I'll never get the hang of women. Not completely.
Or guys.
Social interaction. Life.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Life. I'll never get the hang of. Skateboarding. That. My center of gravity is a bit off. It does not help. So, I used to be really good at rollerblading though, so.
Yes, it's true.
Alright. What's the most common way people waste money, hookers? Drugs.
Fast food.
Music.
Yes.
And fast food, yeah, I think Yates will win on that one. Okay, let's see here. You get one superpower for 5 minutes every day. What is it and why?
Mind reading. So when I go talk to women, I can find out if they actually like me or not. There again, I could also find out some very bad things they're thinking about me. So, double-edged sword.
I'm gonna go with X-ray vision, and here's why. I figure X-ray vision, I can go and find a hot chick, kick it on, and then beat off like crazy to her, and then start smoking a cigarette for the other 4.5 minutes. Ladies. No. Yeah, X-ray vision is probably the best. If I had to pick one, without going into too nerdy of a comic book fan kind of thing.
Right.
Because I could think of one that's a little less known, but if you had to live, Oh, wow. If you had to live the last movie you watched as the main character, what would it be like? I'd be fucking Star-Lord.
Yeah.
I like I'd be Rocket.
Same here.
That's honestly the last movie I
Wait,
watched.
no. Go ahead.
If you want with TV show, I'd do Michael Weston. I've been playing catch up on Virgo, so.
Oh, nice. Iron Man, because I was watching Iron Man Tony Stark, because I was watching Iron Man earlier.
Right. So yeah, I'd be Star-Lord.
Yay! Star-Lord. Who the hell is Star-Lord?
Star-Lord.
Who?
Star-Lord. Yes!
It finally stuck.
That was a great movie, though.
It was.
Okay, we might have one more, maybe, what asshole fact do you know that will ruin the fun for everyone? Let's not do that one. Let's see here. Oh, okay. What is the biggest thing the opposite sex is missing out and will never experience? Well, I mean, as long as they don't get a sex change, we'll say. Just, keep it logical. That true feeling of sticking your penis inside.
Yes.
It's just...
There's
no words.
Yeah.
It's just...
That is very true.
Whether it's just that you've got this hot chick in front of you that you're ready to go at, or you've got someone you love in front of you that you're ready to go at, that feeling of going inside for the first time is just pain.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It just...
Ladies?
I don't know. It's...
I think that should about do it.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot, and